Hello everyone, welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Unless you've been living under a rock, the biggest story we had this week is Australia's decision to select the upgraded Mogami Frigate to replace its Anzac. The decision certainly will enhance the Royal Australian Navy in naval warfare and also deepen regional cooperation between Australia and Japan. However, Australia is not the only one that operates the Anzac class on its fleet. Australia's neighbor New Zealand also has it, and it's nearing the end of its service life. Since Australia chose the Mogami, should New Zealand get its own too? The Royal New Zealand Navy is a small but highly professional force with a focus on regional maritime security, patrol, and HADR missions. However, after the loss of Manawanui in Samoan waters last year, the New Zealand Navy has just 8 vessels encompassing 5 classes, and nearly all are due for replacement by the mid-2030s. Their fleet consists of 2 OPVs, 2 IPVs, a replenishment oiler, a multi-role vessel, and 2 Anzac-class frigates, TKH, and Temana. Even though these frigates will receive a $300 to $600 million upgrade, New Zealand's Anzac is considerably less armed than the Australian ones, and its anti-ship strike capacity only comes from the onboard Super Sea Sprite, which itself is aging and becoming increasingly difficult to maintain. Last April, the New Zealand government published its Defense Capability Plan, or DCP. It's a blueprint listing investment in the military for the next 15 years, aligning with the national strategy, which includes boost to naval capabilities. It focuses on critical investments needed by the defense force in the next 4 years, as well as the following 10-year time frame. The aims are for the defense force to be combat capable with enhanced lethality and a deterrent effect, becoming a force multiplier with Australia and interoperable with partners, including a more tightly integrated Anzac force, and be innovative and obtain improved situational awareness. The government plan could be seen as moving away from New Zealand's defense policy, which traditionally focuses on regional maritime security and peacekeeping. But it's not without alarming reasons behind it. The presence of Chinese warships performing gunnery in the Tasman Sea last February made clear that New Zealand's geographic isolation won't protect it from threats to the extent it once did. New Zealand might soon face the increasing prospect of hostile forces operating near its maritime domain in ways that are coercive and threatening. There are 6 main items highlighted in the DCP for the Navy from 2025 to 2028. These are enhanced strike capabilities, frigate sustainment program, persistent surveillance using uncrewed autonomous vessels and air vehicles, replacing maritime helicopters, future replacement vessels from 2029 to 2039, and the future Devonport naval base design. The DCP said the Anzac frigates will be replaced with comparable contemporary frigates, and the OPVs will also be replaced with consideration given to whether commonality of design or system with the frigates may be possible. A common design would maximize crew training, qualification, and flexibility, and minimize maintenance and support. From this document, we can see New Zealand's plans for its defense, and it makes sense for the New Zealand Navy in particular, becoming closely aligned with Australia, both in the ships they use and the way they train. Some experts even argue that since the Navy has been underfunded for decades, it will be difficult for them to grow within a reasonable time frame and at a reasonable cost without aligning capability and training with Australia. Just like previously with the Anzac class, there are merits for joining Australia in acquiring the upgraded Mogami. Sharing the same design, logistics, and sustainment across a larger combined fleet between Australia and New Zealand would be highly effective and create economies of scale. Operating the same design will deepen interoperability between both nations as it makes joint operations and training seamless. Even though in Australian service, the upgraded Mogami will fill in as a Tier 2 general-purpose frigate, by the international standard, it's still a highly advanced frigate capable of performing a wide range of missions. It will offer a leap in capability for the New Zealand Navy and provide a much more credible force to contribute to regional security. But on the other hand, the opponents will argue that the upgraded Mogami is an expensive frigate, even with economies of scale and rapid construction. Operational research has repeatedly demonstrated that the New Zealand Navy needs 3 to 4 frigates to ensure the availability of 1 or 2 ships at any given time. Even though the government pledged to spend $9 billion on new expenditures, doubling the frigate fleet will probably cost half that budget and potentially reduce other essential defense projects to get proper funding. Moreover, the Navy's availability is very low, mainly due to a lack of personnel. Even if they can buy 4 ships and the Mogami only requires 90 crew, the Navy most likely still won't be able to man them all. Furthermore, from the 4th ship onwards, the construction will move to Australia and the ship will be equipped with Australian specification. Now, the question is, which variant should New Zealand pick? The Japanese build using Japanese specs and proven on-time delivery but lose some of the interoperability advantage with Australia, or the Australian build and maintain interoperability with Australian specs but with the expected higher cost and longer construction time. We've seen what happened with the Arafura class, and what happened to it could also happen to the Australian build Mogami. Given the state of the New Zealand's Navy budget, personnel, and threats it faces, joining Australia in acquiring the Mogami is a high-risk, high-reward proposition. The Mogami is an advanced warship capable of meeting New Zealand's challenges and will ensure deep interoperability with its key partner. However, the financial and operational commitment to buy it will require significant political and public support, so it won't end up like the Anzac class with its controversy. Alternatively, a more affordable design like the Arrowhead 140 could be a solution. It's highly configurable, so even if it's a different design, New Zealand could adopt a configuration as close as possible to the Australian Mogami so that common training and logistical arrangement still could be set up to some extent. Or they can use the Type 31 as a benchmark and match it with the Royal Navy. What do you think about this possibility? Should New Zealand get its own upgraded Mogami? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching everyone. I'll see you in the next one.